Hello everyone, in the last video we looked at adding photos. In this one we'll look at a dev tool for Redux called Redux DevTools. What you want to do first is go to Google and type Redux DevTools, click on the second link, Zalmoxis, and once you're there scroll down until you get to for Chrome. We're going to install Redux DevTools for Chrome, so click on Chrome Web Store. Open it in a new tab and make sure to add your extension to Chrome. I already have it added, so pause the video until you get that done. And once you do, go to your developer tools, more tools, developer tools, and your Redux tab should show up somewhere on the right here. Okay. Now at first this is going to be empty because we have to follow a certain set of instructions. It says no store found. And part of the instructions, it tells us that we need to add the Redux DevTool extension by copying and pasting this. We need to add this extension to our store. So go to your code, add it right here. And once you do that, we've just set up our app, we've set up our store to have this extension. So go back to your browser and back to React app. Right here is going to be every single action that you dispatch in your application. So let's go ahead and remove all of the pictures. Remove, remove, and remove. All of the dispatched actions show up right here. This can be a great tool to help you debug your app. If you were to ever encounter a bug, imagine you encountered a bug right after removing the third picture, then you can look at this as every single action that occurred in your app prior to you getting your bug. This action right here, this tab action right here gives you more info on each action. This one has a type remove post, and it removed the post at index 0. That's the payload of the action that was passed in as soon as the remove button was clicked. All right, you can then look at the state of your application as soon as the action was triggered. So at first, the state obviously had 3 posts. Once you removed the first post, which I believe was on a vacation, your state only then had 2 posts. So that is the current state upon you emitting that action. This one will only have 1 post in its piece of state because at that point we removed 2 posts, and this one will have nothing because clearly after the third action there are 0 posts in our application. So this is the current state of the app at the time that this action was invoked. And diff tells you pretty much what the action did, the difference in state caused by you pressing this remove action, by you invoking this action, I should say. If you look at the raw view, this gives you a much better illustration. Once we invoked the remove action, it removed the post with description, beautiful landscape, image link, this following URL, and an ID of 0. Okay, now this does come with a pretty useful tool called a slider, which would be much better seen if I expand this a little bit. All right. That's our slider, and our slider helps us go back in time in our application. So right here, we're at the time where we dispatched our last action. We can go back in time to when we didn't dispatch any actions right here, and that's when our app initially had all of the posts. Midway through, we dispatched maybe 2 actions, yep, and we only have 1 post left. 3/4 of the way through, or all the way through, we dispatched all of the actions and we have no posts. Another way to jump through time with the Redux Dev tool is by using the jump option. Then it would return the current state of our application upon us invoking this action. And the current state of the application is simply beautiful landscape, since that is the only post that remained upon us invoking these 2 actions. So press jump and it jumps back in time to when we pressed the remove button on the second photo, on the second post. And that is really all I've used Redux DevTools for. There are definitely a lot more features to it. some of which can get really overwhelming. So you can feel free to look at the docs and research it more on your own as you build your application. But really, this is all I've used it for: time traveling and checking out the current states of my app. All right, I'll leave you to it. In the next section, we'll start setting up the adding comments feature. I'll see you then.